The air hung heavy with the scent of ripening grapes in the small French town of Sainte-Cécile. Paul, barely a man at 18, felt adrift, caught between the familiar rhythm of the vineyard and the yearning for something more. His uncle Henri, a broad and jovial man, had married Elizabeth the previous spring. She was a vision of quiet elegance, her dark hair always neatly pinned, her eyes reflecting a sadness that drew Paul in.
He first noticed her across the dinner table, a fleeting glance that sparked something unfamiliar in his chest, a fluttering hope, a forbidden longing. Paul found himself seeking her out, drawn to her gentle nature and the way she listened with her whole being.
Elizabeth, too, seemed to find solace in their conversations, a brief respite from the stifling expectations of her new life. She saw in Paul a kindred spirit, someone who understood the weight of unspoken desires.
Their shared moments, stolen glances across the dinner table, whispered conversations while tending the vines, were like clandestine blooms in the vineyard of their lives, beautiful, fragile, and hidden from the harsh sun of societal judgment.
As summer ripened the grapes, so too did the feelings between Paul and Elizabeth. He would find excuses to be near her, helping with chores she never asked for, their fingers brushing as they passed a basket of grapes.
One afternoon, under the shade of a sprawling oak tree, Elizabeth confided in Paul about her own past, her dreams that never saw the light of day.
He listened with an ache in his heart, realizing their desires mirrored each other's, a longing for something more, a love that defied definition. Their encounters grew bolder, fueled by stolen kisses in the barn's shadowed corners, secret rendezvous by the riverbank under the moonlight.
Each meeting was a stolen breath of happiness, a confirmation of their undeniable connection. Yet, with each stolen moment came the bitter aftertaste of guilt and fear. They both knew their love was a transgression, a betrayal of the very foundation of their families and their community. The weight of their secret pressed down on them, threatening to suffocate the fragile flame they nurtured. The annual Grape Harvest Festival was a time of celebration in Sainte-Cécile. But for Paul and Elizabeth, it was a bittersweet ordeal. Forced to witness each other's joy from a distance, to share forced smiles across the crowded tables, their hearts ached with unspoken words and stolen glances.
One evening, as fireworks lit up the night sky, Paul found Elizabeth weeping by the river. "It's wrong, Paul," she whispered, her voice choked with tears. "What we have, it can never be."
He held her close, his own heart breaking, knowing she was right. Their love was a fragile flower, blooming in the darkness, destined to wilt under the harsh glare of societal disapproval.
The weight of their secret was becoming unbearable, threatening to crush them both.
Their families, deeply rooted in the traditions of Sainte-Cécile, would never understand.
Paul's parents, devout Catholics, held family honor above all else.
His father, with his calloused hands and weathered face, would be devastated by the shame. And Henri, his uncle, a man who embodied the town's values. How could he ever betray him?
The thought of their judgment, the whispers that would follow, was unbearable.
Elizabeth, trapped in a loveless marriage, carried the burden of societal expectations.
Divorce was unheard of in their community, a scandal that would taint her family's name forever.
The thought of hurting Henry, a kind and trusting man who loved her in his own way, filled her with guilt.
They were bound by invisible chains, forged by tradition and societal norms, that held them captive in their own gilded cages. As winter descended upon Sainte-Cécile, casting a blanket of snow over the dormant vineyards, Paul and Elizabeth found themselves at a crossroads.
Their love, once a source of light in their lives, had become a burden, a constant reminder of what they could never have.
One cold morning, Elizabeth left for Paris, a letter addressed to Paul her only goodbye.
"Some loves," she wrote, "are not meant to be lived, only cherished within the chambers of our hearts."
Paul, heartbroken but understanding, chose to stay.
He would honor their love by burying it deep within himself, a bittersweet memory to carry with him.
He would live his life in Sainte-Cécile, tending the vineyards, marrying and having children. But a part of his soul would forever belong to Elizabeth. a testament to the impossible love they shared. Theirs was a love born in secrecy, nurtured in stolen moments, and ultimately sacrificed at the altar of duty and societal expectations, leaving behind a void that only time could attempt to fill.